back on the 3rd of April, I had a look at the New South Wales court lists and was very, very shocked and surprised to see that there were 2 trial dates for this for Ihsas Khan. So I thought just yesterday, I thought I'll go and have a bit of a look and check for an update, and here's what I found. Okay, if you thought I was shocked when it was 2, how shocked do you think I was when I saw all these court dates? I mean, what are they going to do with on all these days? Effectively, what the brief of evidence must have come up to Justice Bilu. He's had a look at it and gone, okay, all of these people need to give witness statements and to appear in court. All the police officers, all the hospital staff, all these people. Looks like Mr. Bilu sort of called them and said, okay, I've seen, this is a terror attack. I've set aside. So there's only 2 dates where he's been appointed. That's the 23rd and the 4th. That's very interesting, that only those 2 days. I would have thought he would be assigned a whole lot because it'd be a bit difficult on each day to have a different judge hearing it. And he's the only one that's going to make a decision. So I find it interesting that they've got unassigned. And they've still got it at Parramatta for the first one on the 23rd. Now, I don't even know why it needs to go to trial. Just, looking at what we're seeing, all they need to do is just present the current affair evidence, have each of the witnesses come in, because they're already interviews. They just need to say, you have witnessed this interview, this TV show. Do you agree that your participation in it is true and accurate of what happened? And they then swear under oath, so that means they've got sworn evidence that a current affair story was true. They just need to show the story once, and then all the witnesses just walk up, get called up, swear that it's all true. That's it. It could be over in like an hour, a couple of hours, not all these days. That's what they could do. And they could call the Prime Minister and George Brandis, when he was Attorney General, as expert witnesses because they called it a terror attack. And they could say, you're in government, you understand the law and how it applies and what terror is all about. Can you just give your expert testimony onto why you called it a terror attack before, I'll make a judgment on this? They could be expert witnesses. I mean, this could... what? They've got all these days aside. All right. Now, I've added all this in. If you look there, there's 10 results, but there's only 9. Now, I was even more shocked to find out that I'm just going to put in that deleted line up the top there where there's a gap. And let's just have a look at what's there. I've just been doing this for dramatic effect. Even between the 2 times that I've looked at it, they've also inserted on the 17th of April a directions hearing. Now, what exactly is a directions hearing? Well, there it is. A directions hearing is a short court appearance where orders are made about what should happen next in the case. Well, looking at all these other court dates, I thought that had already been decided. It's going to trial, but apparently not. They're going to have a directions hearing just before it goes to trial. Okay, so I had my hopes up that it was going to go to trial, and I apologise if I've raised all your hopes that it's going to go to trial, because that's what we want. We want this thing in the courts to be, put through a legal process to prove, well, you can't go through a legal process. So it was either going to be a terrorist trial of, a 10-day trial, terrorist trial, with this one guy who stabbed another guy. He didn't even die, was in hospital, allegedly anyway. I don't think he got stabbed. But if it was up board, that's all. So they got 10 days for this. So it should have been a media out the side, day 4 of hearings here at the Ihsas Khan trial. That was one direction it could have gone. But this little directions hearing that they've inserted in here, well, that kind of, dashes our hopes a bit, I think, because, okay, I can only speculate, obviously. I think what's happened is that when Magistrate Zavadaris transferred it to the Supreme Court, because again, that's the only court that can hear mental health cases. The local courts can't, or can give orders on mental health basis. And that's what the prosecution and the defence wanted to happen, because they're working together, obviously. And anyway, I remember Zavadaris said, I'll need that piece of paper. And I distinctly watched the guy that looked like he was, from Tel Aviv, sort of look around as though he, oh, yeah, I'll get it for you. But he didn't reach for it and hand it straight up, and I didn't see it get handed straight up. So I'm wondering whether this, to get it for the prosecution to agree with the defence that it's going to be a mental health. They're going to agree that, oh yeah, we accept this mental health report or whatever. There must be some. Look, I'm not 100% up with all of this legal stuff, but it seems like from this, there must be some kind of legal form that Savada has wanted that then would sort of tie the prosecution to this mental health assessment, which I don't think they want. I think they were just hoping that they could just get a magistrate, oh yeah, we'll see that later, make a judgment, and then, oh, look, we'll just have to go with the judgment, but they never actually tied themselves to it. I think that's what this battle is about, is the prosecutions don't want to be tied to this thing. The federal government does not want to be tied, because the federal prosecutor, they had a state prosecutor, then a federal prosecutor came in. And another aspect of this is I think that the state judicial system in New South Wales, I think they've had a gutful. I think Savada, I think they've all looked at this and gone, fuck, we don't want to know about this shit. And I think they've called them on it, set all these trial dates and this direction hearing, that piece of paper that's going to, because the New South Wales don't want to have this tied to them moving forward, because if it ever gets exposed as bullshit, they'll be the one, which it hopefully will, they'll be the ones that'll cop it. So they're just deflecting it back to the prosecution, back to the feds. So I can't get to this direction hearing, but we'll know how it's gone. I could probably get to some of the trial dates, but not to that directions hearing. But if suddenly all these trial dates get wiped, then we'll know that it's gone to mental health. And I think this whole charade of putting up all these dates and that, I think Bellew and all the other, these New South Wales judiciary, all these judges have just gone, okay, there's no way we're going to have this stain on us. Victoria don't have the same reservations though. All right, that's it.